It really did.
Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Yeah, so I think a cat pulled our camera guy's power cable out. That's what we'll go with, right? That's the best story we can go with. But we're back! We're live! D-Machine's randomly in here because we were trying
Hello? Is this the right call?
We've been trying to find the best way to come back. We have multiple ways of coming back. We won't give up. We will never surrender. You can't take our honor. Alright, so I'll make sure these teams are still ready. It's been going relatively smoothly. There have been two problems. One involving a cat and a power cable. But we are back. We're live. We're live. We have a pulse.
The Destrolog stream is still real.
It's a Destrolog, man. You know what D-Machine calls Destrologs?
Yeah.
No?
He calls them Destoration locks.
Oh yeah, Destoration locks. Oh god.
They're both ready,
I think that's accurate, actually.
They're both ready. So I'm going to be queuing them up here. And we should be able to jump into this game. Oh, joining this group has been failed. The war game request has been sent. Are you the leader of the group? Just make sure.
Hashtag technical difficulties, man.
We should what? We should be seeing Bumblebee Cleave. Going up against Last Second. And we'd be update the add-on so that it all works out. I'm making sure the teams aren't confused about what they need to do. This is one of the first tournaments in EU. Obviously, there have been a few Russian tournaments so far, but for a lot of these players, it's the first time they've experienced the add-on. It's the first time that I've had to queue people with the add-on, but it hasn't been too much of a problem so far, outside of a irritable cat and a potential disconnect on one of the players. But we are looking to queue these guys up as soon as I can. I'm going to try and queue them up once again. Our game request has been sent, but it is only sending one. Okay. I'm going to try something. I'm going to be a magical man and fix it. Alright, let's see if this works. I rub the lamp like a genie. Okay, Medics is relogging. We should be able to get underway. We have a Shaman Jungle Cleave going up against Destro Moonkin Holy Paladin. OP comp of the century. Everyone should play it. Go ahead and play it. Tell your kids. Queue up. You know you want to. It's OP. Do it. I dare you.
So, are you gonna queue that on the ladder after this?
I queue that on the ladder already, man. I got Dowski pulling out. Oh. Okay. Let's try. One of the teams is having a problem with cats. We'll refer to it as cats because I don't like referring to what it actually is. Okay, we might... okay, let's try it again. Let's try it again. We do have both requests sent. If one of the teams does have a cat pull their power cable out in the first 45 seconds, then they will replay the game. Unfortunately, if it's beyond that, it's not in my control. I'm just waiting for them to accept it. We have a nice panoramic view of our camera guy's rogue. I like his transmog. I'm watching the stream back. He is bald. Come on, work.
It's a handsome rogue, man. I'm gonna break it down. I mean, at Transmog, it's top tier. His weapons are on fire, and he is bald.
Okay, we're gonna try to cue this one more time. We're queuing it one more time.
It's Wreckful confirmed.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the teams to read the game. Oh, I think I know what's wrong. Freaking cats! Why is it always cats? Come on.
Oh no.
We might have to move to the next series and wait.
Dude,
We're most likely going to have to wait. We'll try and give them a second chance by waiting. Just letting the other team know what's going on. I think we are going to maybe delay this and play the next series. If we do that, it's going to be Corey's Effect going up against Elite Gamer. There actually are 2 Elite Gamer teams in this tournament. Curious to know what Elite Gamer is. Is it secret code? Is it a website I don't know about?
It's a secret society of elite gamers.
Elite Gamer. And it's going to be another DK Windwalker Holy Paladin. There's 2 of them.
They're everywhere, dude.
Dude, it's popular.
It's a plague.
Cue it. Cue it up. It's OP. I promise I'm not lying to you. I would never lie to you. All right.
I'm sure.
And I'm already forgetting which team they're fighting, so I need to look again. Coriolis Effect. I believe it's WLS. Oh, no. Yeah, WLS. And it's Johnny Pax.
So we have WLAS against the DK Windwalker Pally?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't know. I think the Shaman is really vulnerable against DK Windwalker. I mean, it's a cleave after all. But I think if the WLS somehow manages to live, they can rot the Pally Windwalker DK really fast. They can actually finish the game in less than 5 minutes, I think, if they can survive. I'm just worried about the Shaman dying.
Yeah, the Shaman is definitely the vulnerability. I'm just trying to let people know what's going on. Okay. So we're going to delay this series. I'm letting them know that. I'm confirming it right now so that they don't need to wait. It's not Windwalker DK Paladin. Am I looking at the wrong team? I have a team list and it's telling me something else. Is it completely different?
Which team are you talking about?
First Elite Gamer team.
That's GodComp, I think. Elite Gamer.
What did I say? What was I looking at? Let alone what am I saying?
Elite Gamer, the first team is GodComp.
It's Elite Gamer 2. You see how I got confused? Elite Gamer 2 is the Windwalker DK.
Yes.
And Elite Gamer 1 is GodComp. So it's GodComp against... I have to look at this. Let me I don't want to say anything that's wrong anymore. Elite Gamer, so it's GodComp against WLS. Now that's common.
All right.
That's pretty common.
That's something
you see pretty often. And that is going to be the series we play next. I'm just going to let them know that they're ready. Yeah. See if they're ready.
I think in that matchup, like, GodComp really has the advantage. Shamans are quite vulnerable in CC. GodComp has so much of it that I think they can just out-CC the Shaman so hard that they can force his trinket and then either kill the Shaman or just kill the DPS. I don't think it matters what they kill. They can swap on the healer with the Deep Freeze, Disarm, Silence, /Bash, or they can just kill the DPS and change to see the Shaman. He's never going to be able to use his Tremor because so you have to pre-timer since WoD, and that means he's just gonna sit every CC full time.
Yeah. And one of the teams is AFKs, but I'm not gonna give them a countdown timer as we are waiting for the other team. We do have the WLS ready, and we do have the God Comp ready.
Nice.
You're ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, let's get them into the add-on arena. We have Babo Mage, and we're gonna get this guy in here as well. And if you want to just update the team names in the add-on, it's going to be Coriolis Effect going against Elite Gamer without a 2, because they purposely wanted to confuse me by signing up with the same name with a number added at the end.
Yeah. What's cool about Arena Live is if you have all the same updated Arena Live add-on, it should automatically update the name if just the party leader does it for everybody.
I'm going to try it. I didn't think it mattered what I did because I thought it was for your own personal thing. Let's try it. I'll try it. I'm down for trying.
Leave an Arena Live. Yeah, so I do have a level 100 character. If you ever need it, Supa, just give me a shout out, bud.
Yeah, if there's any problems, and we will receive your assistance. We will call you to muster, as you are a paladin. You will muster and assist us in our time of need, right?
Absolutely, man. That's what I'm here for.
Thanks for stopping by for the support. Hope you enjoy it. Hope it's fun.
I will. I'll be in chat.
Okay.
See you guys in there. I won't. And can I end the call, or is that okay?
You can leave. It's all good.
Okay.
If you want to leave, it's all good. And we're going to start the next series against Coriolis Effect, moving against Elite Gamer, WLS going up against GodCom. Pretty common top tier end matchup between these two compositions. Join as group has failed. Please don't fail. Make sure that you are group leader. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. Make sure that you're group leader. Are you group leader? Make sure you are group leader. Should be able to queue them up. Alright. One of the teams is just updating an add-on to make sure that it works. Okay. Sorry for the delay. We're just trying to make sure that we can do this. Yes, Elite Gamer going up against Coriolis Effect. Okay, one team is ready. We were waiting for the other team to confirm they're ready. They wanted to update an add-on to make sure that they can play at their full amount. And we should be able to queue it again shortly. Maybe it's just... We should be able to queue it shortly. Alright. So Elite Gamer is ready. Raw Steel needs a minute to fix his add-on. Apologize for the delay. Should be an interesting matchup. Though I feel if WLS plays, like flawlessly, they like stop every incoming CC, manage your trinkets. It's mostly trinkets, I think, in that matchup that need to be micromanaged. If anyone overlaps, like trinket port, trinket link, it's same. I mean, that's a pretty big one. But.
Especially the Shaman's trinket is very important since he can just die in one swap as well if he has no trinket.
Yeah.
So I think the WS should play around it and just try and save their Shaman's trinket in any case with anything they have.
I mean, I definitely think trinket is the Shaman's most important defensive.
Yeah.
But I think with 10% damage reduction, I don't know. I don't imagine seeing a Shaman swap with 10% damage reduction.
I'm not sure. I mean, I've played some Godcom before the patch, and you actually just overkill the healer in like 2 seconds when you still had 4 seconds of CC left or something. So I think they can kill him like even after the patch. Like, I'm pretty sure about it.
So you're confident in their damage?
Yeah, for sure. Godcom does so much burst. All they have to do is line it up correctly so the DPS can't stop their damage. They actually need 100% uptime. If they get stopped on anything, they won't kill the healer in one go.
Yeah.
Just need to free cast.
I mean, you've got Shadow Priest, Disorient, Silence, Deep Freeze, and now Deep Freeze doesn't break on anything but Ice Lance. So you've got a very long CC chain to swap to. I haven't seen it since the 10% damage nerf, so I don't know. I would imagine the Warlock is the primary target, possibly the Warrior. You swap between them, play defensively, drag it out into dampening. Obviously, it's gonna be a dampening game. If you don't like,
I'm not sure. I don't think it's gonna be too deep in dampening.
You don't think it's gonna be dampening? I think it's gonna be dampening. But I think if they both play really well, it should go to dampening.
I'm not sure. I think the WLS can finish the game quite fast. The Godcom has some CC, but if the Shaman plays double the spell, the WLS Shaman, then they can probably stay very offensive and just kill the Godcom quite fast. I'm just kind of worried about the Godcom forcing too much in too few goes, so they overlap something and they just finish the game.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be like overlapping CC, what cooldowns are used by the WLS. I feel like that's where the mistakes are going to determine the game. And we're still waiting. Waiting is fun, right? Waiting is a fun thing to do.
Super fun. 90% of the time I'm playing WoW, I'm actually waiting.
This is true, man. I spend like 80% of my time waiting.
World of Lobbycraft, some shit.
World of Lobbycraft. You just wait for your friends all day. Okay, so now the other team is ready, but the other team went to the restroom. Okay, please let me know when you're back so we can get this going. Now, are you familiar with the players on these teams?
We have Elite Gamer. That's Baba Mage, Frosty, and Miley. Yeah, I know them. Baba Mage is German, and yeah, they're good players. They're like almost 3.1k.
Wow, that's high considering US ladder. I don't know how it is around EU, but that would be considered high end in US.
Yeah, they're pretty high, and they've always been playing Godcomp even in MOB. Frosty and Baba played Godcomp together. So I think they're playing kind of good, have decent synergy, and should be a solid matchup from their side at least.
All right, they are back. They are ready. We are back. Okay, letting them know. We'll jump into the grand as soon as possible. Hopefully no more problems. Please, 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 no more problems. The war game requests have been sent. The queue is popped.
It works.
The moment is now. The time is here. Whatever catchphrase you can come up with to put in my mouth there, please type it in the chat because I need more of them.
Wait, what?
What's what? Is there something special you missed that I didn't miss? It looks pretty standard to me.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little bit of a cooldown issue as far as 2 spell lock showing up when he's not playing Sack Pit, but definitely a good matchup between both top end comps. And as you were saying, both teams are highly skilled. 3,100 rated. I mean, that's impressive to me. I don't know if it's impressive to you. We were pointing out the transmog on the shaman at this point in time. We wanted to take a note of his devilish good looks. Or her. It is a her. Sorry, dwarf females for having the masculine body tones.
Look at that bodybuilder belt.
His
boxer belt.
His river dance. Alright, let's see. How offensive is Johnny Pax going to play is the question. Imagine he's going to be starting maybe in D stance even. The gateway coming down. Not going to blink CS that. No really over-aggressive plays from Babbo the Mage just yet. There's the charge onto Babbo. They're going to be on him just to start to try and eliminate the polymorphs early on. The Cone of Cold thrown out. There's the Icy Veins actually trying to build up some early icicles, but instead choosing to clone Johnny Pax there and swap over to Raw Steel potentially. Now the deep freeze onto Burley. The ring comes down. He's not going to let it. He lands the poly. There's the disarm to Johnny. There's the bash out of it. That's the CC they need, but there's no burst coming to it. The poly onto Burley as well. The clone onto Raw Steel. Now the Ice Nova's finally connecting into Johnny, but he's in distance. He's got the shield barrier. He should be okay here, and he didn't even have to use his regeneration heal. There's the silence on the Burley, though. He might end up getting it. Oh my god, all those icicles connecting at the same time, chunking him, but he managed to escape without using regen. He didn't have to use retalent. He didn't have to trinket. That is a great opener for the WLS, and now choosing to use the Blade Storm onto Babbo the Mage, who's going to blink out of it, instantly cancels that into battle stance to try and do some damage. Burley manages to top him off for now, but the Dark Soul fading from Raw Steel. The pressure's going to start to subside, but there's the fear on the Miley. Babo dipping to about half HP, locked on Arcane right now, trying to go for the Polymorph again. He lands the Polymorph, not able to mass reflect it, but they're just counter-pressuring Babo so hard. He has to blink out of the Stormbolt, but that means Johnny Pax can do whatever he wants. He's choosing to play a little defensive right here in D-stance, probably shield barriers here. There's a sudden death proc doing quite a bit of damage to Babo. He gets locked out on Poly once again, and now they're swapping over to Frosty, and this is what they need to do. They need to make the Resto Druid get CC'd, fall behind on Hots, and constantly swip. There's the swap the Hots, and now there's the Recklessness. He gets Kona Colded on it, and he activated the regen very preemptively there with no CC onto Burley. Without that regen, it might mean that he needs to trinket retail later in the game. Now Palmer from the Rosso gets dispelled by Burley, and Babo the Mage is taking quite a lot of damage. There's the defreeze, bash onto Johnny. He's not going to get stopped on the Poly. The Poly lands full onto Burley. Johnny has to use that die by the sword, and he activates it before he gets CC'd, so he's not going to need to trinket, which is good for him. And now the Fear is landed onto Burley, but Johnny is pulling back. He's got the shield barrier, defensive Stormbolt onto Frosty. You don't really want to have to use your Stormbolt like that, but in that situation, he has to. And he actually activated the Colossus Smash. He instantly has to go back into D-stance. He might end up going down. The Ice Novas come out. The NS gets popped by Burley, bringing him back to about half HP. They all still have their trinkets available, which is good for the WLS in this situation, but they need to swap more. They need to get pressure onto these this Mage and Shadow Priest. There's no dots right now onto Babo the Mage. Full dots onto Frosty, but he's getting feared up. Miley trying to go for a Cyclone, not going to be able to land it. Instead, pulling back, and there's a lot of damage onto Babo, 100,000 HP. Now the offensive Stormbolt onto Miley. Babo might be forced in the Ice Block, 120,000 HP, trying to go for the Polymorphs, lands a Polymorph onto Burley there, and now Johnny Pax into the Disarm, bash out of that. He has Trinket available if he needs to rally, but instead uses the regen, so spacing his cooldowns out well so far to survive, but that's the Shadow Fiend. They're trying to pressure the kill here. There's the Rallying Cry, Master Fleck coming out on the Deep Freeze. The Polymorph doesn't land, but the Silence does. He has to Trinket, Stone Form out of the Silence and land the Spirit Link, but it's killed almost instantly. Now the Stormbolt onto Miley. They're trying to turn any damage onto Frosty as you can, but like you were saying, the Scott Comp is very tanky. They're still sitting on both of their blocks, their dispersions. The Druid Miley doesn't have his trinket, but he still has Iron Bark and S, so they're not really forcing a lot. Now finally the full fear landed onto Miley. They're trying to do damage to Babo. He's going to heroic leap defensively, but Frosty's right on his tail. It puts him into that disarm, but he gets feared up by Raw Steel, so nice peels from Raw Steel into the double Shadow Fury. That's what they need to be using the Shadow Furies on, is on the DPS. Now the Stormbolt onto Miley. He's going to be sitting in that. He did get Stormbolted on his clone, but the defreeze onto Johnny for damage. Now the Master Fleck coming out, but he does manage to eat it off before landing the full offensive clone, keeping Johnny Pax about half HP. Now the Polymorph onto Raw Steel, Silence onto Burley. Johnny Pax in a bit of trouble here. He's going to charge to Frosty out of LOS of Baba the Mage. He needs to be careful here. The Icicles are connecting. Burley spamming the Healing Surges, trying to get through the counter spell here, but Baba the Mage gets locked on the Poly. He's going for another one. He gets locked out again, so he's just not able to land the CC. Frosty's getting the full dots out onto Johnny Pax, who throws the Stormbolt onto Miley. Deep Freeze onto Burley. Finally does the Poly land. The Ring of Frost comes out after getting locked out, but nice Shadow Fury. It was too late. He didn't Shadow Fury the ring. Johnny Pax might be in trouble here. The Druid's pushing him for the bash. There's the bash, lands onto Johnny Pax. He's not trinketing it, instead using the regen. I believe he was in D-stance, so that's good for him there. He's going to be able to survive just fine, I believe, but the fear onto Burley is extending the game out. There's Die by the Sword, but it's way too late. He's dipping really low, 127,000 HP. The Silence onto Burley. He's going to be able to come out of that. Possibly, he actually doesn't have Spirit Link. This WLS is in a lot of trouble. There's no cooldowns available with no NS and no trinket. Johnny Pax only has his trinket to the name, but without a defensive cooldown like Rally or Die by the Sword, he's not going to have a lot of answers. And Baba the Mage has 2 blocks. Like, it might look dire right now, but he's got the Iron Bark. He still has a block, and now Johnny Pax into the Deep Freeze. It might be it. Burley, it comes out of the Polymorph, but he gates away from his Warrior. His Warrior's trying to gate to catch up. He's going to be able to uses the Master Fleck kind of preemptively to maybe reflect the CS on Burley there, and he does manage to top him off, biding his time right now. Enrage regen coming up in about 10 seconds, so he's going to be okay for that next Deep Freeze burst damage onto him, but they still haven't forced a block. We're finally starting into dampening. There's the Stormbolt onto Miley. Baba the Mage going for Polymorphs onto Raw Steel. Burley running out of Dispels. Raw Steel's going to have to sit that. Bob the Mage getting locked on Frost, though. 150,000 HP, and Miley gets locked out on that Cyclone, but now the disarm onto Burley. There's the swap you were talking about, Botar, in the pregame. He's dipping to about half HP. There's the full Deep Freeze. He's going to sit that. He has a Silence out of that, too, I think. Into the half bash, devouring plague, 60,000 Silence. Oh my god, Hellstone. He dispels himself in stone forms. Ice Lance connects. That's it.
And that is what I meant.
You did not lie. You are not a liar, Botar.
If they get the Shaman Trinket, they can actually just finish him in one go. And that's how it is, even after their patch. Gothcom has enough damage and CC to just kill him. But yeah, I think it was a quite good game from the Gothcom especially. They did quite nice CC, but after all, I think they shouldn't CC the Shaman and go for the Warrior. They should either like go for the Warlock, CC Shaman, and or go Shaman like the whole game and just CC DPS. I don't think Warrior is a good target since he's just sitting defensive stance, spamming the shield barrier. He has that regen every minute, which is quite often actually, and it kind of saves him together with healing stream and stuff. So yeah, I don't think Warrior is the correct target for the God Camp. And then they changed it up on the Shaman after the Trinket, and then they killed him. I guess they just only wanted to get the Shaman's Trinket by going Warrior.
Yeah, I mean, they control the Warrior damage a lot by going on him too, right? With a bash into disarms. That way their offensive pressure doesn't get, like, backlash on themselves. They don't need to overextend. The Warrior is on them, right? They don't need to chase the Warlock for Portal. The Warrior's already there.
Of course. I think the WLS kind of has to push on the Druid. I think they have to pressure the Druid really hard, otherwise they can't create enough pressure to force the God come back and make them play defensive. I think it's really important to really key to fear the Druid, and then after the fears, go on the Druid with a stun to create extra pressure. Only going DPS is not going to give them the overall rots they need.
Yeah. And did you leave the game?
Nope, 1 second.
Okay. All right, we're going to queue up, and the WLS picked Dalaran Sewers.
I'm ready.
So it's a much short-quarter map. It's going to make the Druid more vulnerable to getting feared, but it didn't feel like the WLS had any pressure. It took almost 2 minutes to get Ironbark, I think. So unless they have that damage to kind of push them back, they're just going to do whatever they want, control whoever they want, sit wherever they want. You don't get through any ice blocks, and obviously God Comp is very tanky innately, which also makes it hard.
Yeah. I think mages are way too tanky for the WLS to kill. I mean, I think they can hit him sometimes when he blinks offensive or something, but then they shouldn't go on the mage that much as they did last game. I mean, he has Flame Glow, he takes really low damage. He doesn't really care about being focused. He still does the same CC. He just blazing speed blink deeps with cross CC on the Warrior and the Warlock. And then it doesn't really stop anything. I think if they go Shadow, they stop some off heals, some damage. It might not matter that much, but it's something. I mean, they don't stop anything by going mage.
I think maybe swapping Druid too, like forcing him into the game, because he plays really defensive and doesn't need to get involved. He can kind of just turtle, heal, wait for his team to win almost, right? Push in for the bash when everything is safe, right? Everything's CC, push in for the bash.
It's so important for them to push on the Druid. They have to damage the Druid, especially after the CC, so they have that kind of spread damage, and it's hard for him to out-heal when he has to heal himself as well.
Sorry, Baba Mage actually not blinking in to CS the gate. You're going to save it for later. Just spamming the early spell steals, stealing whatever buffs he can. Any rebuffs as well. Very early rebuff. Icy Veins comes out. He gets Shadow Fury on. He's actually going to trinket the Shadow Fury, going for the Polymorph out of the fear. The Polymorph lands. The disarm is out. There's the full bash landed. Orb of Frost coming down. Baba taking a lot of damage. He trinkets defensive stand, pops the regen, trying to counter pressure as much as he can. But there's the Stormbolt. Unfortunately, it's defensive onto Frost, so you really need to save the Stormbolt for the Druid. And now the Silence comes out. Johnny Pack's taking a lot of damage. The Deep Freeze onto Burley. I don't think they have any CC follow-up just yet. There's a Dark Soul from Raw Steel. They're trying to counter pressure, but they're choosing to just CC Miley. Now finally dotting him. Let's see if Johnny Pack chooses to swap. Instead sitting on Frosty, like you were saying in the pregame there, and now Miley going for Cyclones onto Raw Steel. He's going to have to trinket out of that Polymorph, ending on Burley. He did get the capacitor down. I think they managed to kill it off, though, so it's not going to stun anything. And Miley is going to just be spamming Dispelling Dots, just sitting really far back away from the fight, waiting for the CCDRs, waiting for his moment to kind of blink in and bash the Warrior. But now the Recklessness Blade Storm coming out from Johnny Pax onto Baba is going to get answered with the Iron Bark from Miley. So much earlier forced Iron Bark this game, and now they're swapping onto Frosty potentially, but now he's in the disarm. Triple CC, bash out of that from Miley. The fear landed onto Burley. It was not pre-trembered. Johnny Pack's in a bit of trouble here. Regen coming up just in time. He's going to heroic leap. I like the defensive play here. Come back to his gateway, activate his Master Reflect, trying to reflect any damage he can. The poly lands onto Burley, though. Die by the Sword comes out with Hellstone. They really can't afford to overlap too much, though. The silence onto Burley. If he activates his regen, he's going to run out of fuel. There's the regen activated. Burley really can't afford to use his link. Instead, uses his Ascendance NS. I wonder if he shouldn't have done that. It seems like so many cooldowns used all at the same time, but there's so much pressure. I mean, Burley keeps his Trinket Link, so that's going to be really important for the next round. There's the fear landed onto Miley. Babo taking quite a bit of damage. Might even end up up into the ice block. Ironbark not available for 11 seconds. Babo gets locked out on that polymorph, now spamming the frost bolts, building up those icicles for round 2 when he decides to push in. And there's the double fear landed. Johnny Pax into the disarm. Now Miley trying to go for some clones, going to land the bash out, I would imagine. There's the full bash. Poly on Burley, but no damage just yet onto Johnny Pax. Deep freeze onto Burley, and he's not stacked on him. There's the Ring of Frost trying to come down. It doesn't get landed, and now the clone landed half, but there was no pressure. I don't know what the Godcom did in that swap there, but it definitely feels like it got botched. There's the silence onto Burley. Now they're trying to do more damage onto Johnny, but they're out of CC. Now Babo is being pressured by Johnny Pax, but like you're saying, with Flame Glow, with Spell Steal, with Blink, with Blazing Speed, he's just so tanky and so mobile that I feel like Johnny Pax is almost wasting his time attacking him. Obviously, it allows him to stop polymorph a little bit more frequently, but if he gets locked on poly, he goes for the ring. There's the full fear landed with the clone cross CC onto Raw Steel, the disarm onto Johnny Pax. He has his regen available. He activates it immediately on that deep freeze, so a good reaction there to get that up as soon as possible to heal through this burst. Now there's no CC available for Burley. He should be able to top him here shortly. The pummel landed there onto polymorph again on Baba. There's the full fear onto Miley. It might mean a block from Baba. Heroic leap onto him. Nice life grip though to answer that. He's going to charge though immediately. The whirlwinds come smacking in. The shield barrier up as well to try and mitigate any damage. The half fear onto Miley, and the WS really wants to play this CC game, but they just don't have enough. And now Die by the Sword has to be used from Johnny Pax. He still has rally. He still even has his fear. I feel like he maybe should just throw that out on the DPS when they go for a burst opportunity there to stop the poly. Master Flex too late. Burley trying to sit on his trinket as long as he can, but there's the deep freeze onto Johnny Pax. He's going to be taking a bit of damage, but nice peels from Raw Steel. The fears onto Babo. Nice charge pummel onto the poly, and a nice CS onto the Frostbolt as well. Locking down the burst. It lets Burley recover here. He gets to keep his trinket. He gets to keep his link now into the Frost Nova. Full offensive clone onto Johnny Pax. Waiting for the DRs. Mitigating the damage. I like that Cyclone. Realizing Master Flex was already used as well to try and get that off. Polymorph's trying to be spammed, but again, he's spamming Polymorph like this, so he gets interrupted, so it's not available when he gets the Deep Freeze. Now the Heroic Leap, though, onto Bobble, he has to use the Ironbark, and he does manage to Master Flex the Poly, but now he has no interrupt. The Poly lands on the Deep Freeze onto Burley. They're counter-pressuring onto Raw Steel, who has to portal back here defensively, and like you were saying, that regen comes up every minute, so he's going to have it available, so now they realize that they're on Raw Steel. He has to activate the Dark Regen and his Hellstone, and he's dying through it. 100,000 HP, it might even be over. Rally gets activated. Drain life at 15,000. He's going to die. Amazing swap there. Excellent control. And I feel like the WLS was almost helpless.
Yeah. Like as I said before, the Warlock is a way better target. Since, I mean, he has his portal, but he can't really use it since he has to be offensive and create the pressure. And by going on the Warlock, they can also CC the warrior way easier with like full Novas. He's just sitting in the Novas as well. Like he can't control his character. So what they do is just pet Nova Warrior, Deep Shaman, and then he doesn't even have to get that pre-poly, you know? Normally they poly the Warrior, push in for Blazing Speed, Blink, Deep Shaman, while the Warrior is polyed and switch poly on the Shaman. But because it's a Warrior, he can't get out of Nova, so he just sits in a Nova while they CC, and he can't do anything.
Yeah. And I have confirmation from the team in the last series that they are ready to play. I'm just going to make sure that the other team is ready too. I hope that they're kind of sitting around here and watching and kind of enjoying it. And the last series we did skip. That series we just finished was Coriolis Effect going against Elite Gamer, and I believe that was Elite Gamer that took that 2-0 in the God Count versus the WLS. And the series that I'm hoping we can bounce back to is the Moonkin Destro Holy Paladin going up against last second, the Jungle Cleave. I'm just trying to get a hold of them. And I'm excited, man. Destrolock.
Do you think the dream is real?
Is the dream real? Is the dream real? Is the dream a reality?
I don't know.
I think with the 10% damage reduction nerf, that's obviously going to affect Destrolog Burst as well, which wasn't, on the high end. I feel like out of all the execute abilities that are in the game right now, Shadow Burn is actually kind of lackluster as opposed to its status in MOP, where it was
is it not that good anymore?
It isn't. I've had some complaints from other Destrolog players that they feel like, man, why don't execute hits harder? you feel like, it's kind of weak.
Yeah, I remember in Mob, like Shadowburn actually just killed you instantly.
You were dead.
It was like execute now.
If you lived, it was a miracle, and you lived barely, and you usually died to the follow-up one after it. So, all right, I have both teams telling me they're ready. And it's going to be Bumblebee Cleave going up against Last Second. We're jumping back a series because they fixed their problems, hopefully.
So it's Shaman Jungle. I guess he might actually play Pally as well. I know this guy Xonica. He plays Shaman and Pally, so I think they can swap between Pally and Shaman Jungle.
Yeah, I think that he was saying they were going to play Shaman, but they do have the option to switch to Pally. But I feel like Shaman, I don't know, Destro cooldowns getting answered by Pally cooldowns is...
That's pretty huge. And keep in mind, with the Pally, they have more breakers, they have the freedom, they have the Hodge. It's quite good as well. I'm not sure. On the other side, it's really hard for them to CC a Shaman, since he's just going to pillar, spam purge, and have grounding shock,
Right. Yeah, I think Shaman can, I mean, they have Root Solar Beam, they have Hodge, they have Fear, they have a lot of CC if they can execute it properly. I feel the potential is there, but due to like damage output issues, they might not be able to execute a kill.
I just don't see them killing the jungle before the jungle kills them. Because jungle has so much damage. They're gonna have pressure all the game, except they out-CC them, which I think they can't. And the Destro team has to burst, and it's so hard to set up a burst while you're getting one-shot basically by the jungle cleave.
Yeah. I know Ferals were nerfed on their Shred while in stealth, which was kind of the read it and you're kind of like, wait, is that actually a nerf kind of thing? Like, I don't know many Feral dudes that open with Shred from stealth, but I think that when you're incarnated, Incarnation is active, you're considered in stealth, like your damage benefit. So I think they did nerf Shred while in Incarnation, which is pretty big.
Possibly, I'm not sure. That would be huge. Because Feral CDs are probably the most important CDs in this game, damage-wise. Like, they actually just kill you. You always gotta have something. If you don't have anything for the Feral CDs, you're dead.
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting game, I think, though. Might be some surprise inside. Like a Kinder Surprise. You open up the egg and you got like a toy inside. Maybe the Destro Lock pulls off a win. What if they just blow us away, man? What if they just 5 seconds into the game, one Chaos Bolt, boom, it's over? Would you be surprised?
I know what's gonna queue the next day. Only
Destro Locks?
All the Demo locks, First playing Affliction and going Demo. Hey man, I can one-shot this guy. And now I'm going Destro. I don't know. I still think Destro is really not close to as good as Demo, because Destro has to cast.
Yes, the casting.
He only has one school, I think, except for Fear. So like you kick him on fire and he can't do anything. I think, damage-wise, that is.
I'm just making sure that they're ready. He tells me he's ready, and then he doesn't respond to me. It's like your ex-girlfriend. All right, now he says he's ready. We should be able to queue this up. Let's get going. And it's not available for the queue. Okay, I need to message them. The add-on. Alright, we should be able to queue it up. I'm telling them just to relog. The add-on had a problem with giving the Jungle Cleaver queue, so we'll wait for them to relog again. Apologize. I apologize for the wait, man. I know you just want the games. You want the games? You want to be like Athene? You want to watch people go around the corner? God, that video is old. You remember those old Athene videos?
It's a classic, man.
People forget that. I don't know.
Well,
I feel like people do.
He's a legend. He recently just was on Bloomsburg or something like that channel, TV. I don't know.
Oh, he's on TV.
Yeah, he was because of that Save the Children thing, and I think he got like 3 million donations or something, $3 million, something like that. It was huge, dude. He donated all of that money. And
yeah, he's done a lot. I mean, he's
awesome.
done so many charity things too as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this again. We should have it work. It looks like it should work. Just waiting. Yeah, what do you know? Q is popped. People are going to be going around the corners. I'm so excited, man. Moonkin Duster luck. Is the dream a reality? That is the question. Can they pull off the burst that is necessary to take down Zion's Fall? Big Peter and Zonica playing the almost merciless Jungle Cleave. Obviously mentioned Datelock on the Destro Lock. He's a brave soul playing that spec. I'm kidding, it's overpowered. Everyone should play it. And Maz on the Holy Paladin, as well as Toei on the Balanced Druid. Pulling it out there with some strange Comparino.
What do you think the jungle is going to go for?
I think they're going to go for the lock.
The Destro Lock. Keep in mind.
I swear it's a little bit.
I mean, think they're just going to sit on the Moonkin, to be honest.
Yeah, they could. They have a lot of CC too. If they wanted to go Paladin for the Boomkin, CC him like he's a healer and go for the Paladin.
Could, yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, Big Peter, obviously the man to follow at the beginning, playing pretty defensively back here. They don't want to get pulled out by the rain of fire. That's kind of what Destrolocks are known for breaking openers. And they're actually going to pull them out of stealth. Pull Zion's Fall out of stealth. He's just going to be spamming the Cobra shots, building up his ferocity stack. If he gets to that 5 stack, that's when he does the critical amount of damage. And he might be playing Barrage, so we get to see a lot of burst coming out from him, as well as Datelock spamming out the Incinerates. They're both kind of trading up their resources to build up here. The Wyvern Sting being thrown out onto Datelock. Toei coming out of stealth to dispel it, but he gets trapped on his dispel. Maz with a nice early dispel, but there's the crows. They're going to go after Maz, and Toei triggers immediately with his incarnation. He's trying to turn the damage around on Zion's Fall, who has to deterrence. And now Maz with the Avenging Wrath has topped himself off successfully. There's the Bash clone, though, onto Zonica. They're trying to pressure Zion's Fall, but he's pillaring very well back here. Now they have to swap onto Big Peter. They're not accomplishing too much with the Incarnation, and he does get locked out on the Recyclone by the Wind Shear of Zonica, so really well played there by Zonica. Now the clone onto Big Peter. It's only half, but Maz's Avenging Wrath is going to start to fade, and Big Peter didn't use his Incarnation, and what do you know he's using now? Big Ferocious Bites coming in, a trap on a Datelock. He's dipping to about half HP, activates the wall. I like that he saved that, but he's still taking a lot of damage. He has to use his Stone Form and Hellstone and Gateway, but he's kiting right back to them. He's trying to drag them to the middle. The Root Solar Beam onto Zonica. Zion's Fall really needed to freedom him out of that. I feel like that could have potentially been a backfire there, but Maz just taking so much damage. He might have to use the bubble or a bop. Big Peter just not able to connect just yet. The Havoc comes out, though. He's trying to throw the Death Claws out, but Maz has to bubble. The Destrolock not getting the damage out that he needs to right now. Now the Hodge on the Zonica. There's the double coils, but he had to use it on a Fear. Now the Bash on his Zion's Fall. The Chaos Bolt gets locked. The burst potential is all on the Moonkin right now, and he's taking him to about half HP. He's got the full clone on Zonica on his Ascendance. Zion's Fall has to deter. What an insane amount of burst there from the Destrolock, but Maz has barely any cooldowns left to his name. I mean, as soon as that Forbearance runs out, he's going to be able to bop. Nice Cenarian Ward, though, from Towie before he gets cloned up, but now he's put into the maim. Die by the Crows. There's the Barrage. The Zion's Barrage is going to get bopped immediately. He gets purged immediately as well. With the Trank Shot nerf, he was able to get it off. There's a lucky purge there by Zion's Fall, and now he's doing a lot of damage through the wall of Maz. He's trying to LOS, but there's just no pressure. Clones being thrown out onto Datelock. Wyvern Stings onto Towie. He does get dispelled out of that. Cyclone coming out with the Aura Mastery of Maz, but then he gets trapped half. The Bash lands. He has to trinket the half Bash. Saved by the Light Prox. He's taking so much damage right now. Fear's being spammed out, but they're not just landing yet. There's the Havoc. Will he go for the Death Coils? There's the Death Coils. He's trying to line up the the Chaos Bolt here. It does connect. Zion's Fall in the Bash. He gets the deterrence off, though, just in the nick of time. And there's actually a Repentance on Azonica, but Maz might just go down. He's in Forbearance, I believe. There's the Root Beam, but it doesn't matter. The Jungle Cleave pressure is just too much for them to handle.
Yeah. I think the Moonkin team really didn't expect the jungle to go for the Paladin since he played Repentance. And since he can only got that Repentance in the end, it was really not worth to pick it. I think now that he knows they're going for him, he's going to play the short Hodge. and they might be able to get something out of that, since they had some setups where they could have actually killed. I mean, in the first Demon Soul, they forced Trinket deterrence instantly from the Lion's Fall, and then the second go, they forced the second deterrence, and he dropped to 30%. So I think the third go, if you had the short Hodge, they could have maybe finished the game. I was actually kind of surprised by the Destrolock damage. It was way higher than I thought.
Yeah.
The Chaos Balls did like 40% of his HP or something, and that's massive. I mean, if they get the setups they need, I think they can win by going Hunter.
Yeah, they got two deterrences.
Yeah, they did.
Look at it on the upside.
He does take a lot of damage, and I'm not sure though if it's better to go on the Feral Druid, since if they play with the short Hodge instead of Repentance, it's easier to get the Feral off the Pally, so they can't really go Pally when the Feral always gets Hodged on CD and swapped to in the Hodge, while they cross to see the Hunter with a Fear and just beam the Shaman or something. I think the Feral Druid might be the correct target if they play with the short Hodge.
Yeah, with short Hodge, and if they go Paladin and drag him out of line of sight, yeah, I agree with you. But they, sorry, you can say what you want. I need
every Hodge, they can kill him, and I mean the Feral only has one breaker, and that is Trinket. He doesn't have Bark Skin. He only has 2 walls, and he can't use walls while he's stunned. So except he pre-walls, they can actually kill him 4 times while he only has 1 Trinket in that time. So it should be working to go on the Feral.
I'm face palming right now. Sonica needs 2 minutes. I'm face palming. Alright, Sonica needs 2 minutes. He's going to update Gladius because Gladius seems to have a problem with War Games if it's not updated. I suggest to any players watching that if you have out-of-date add-ons, please update them before you play because they might not work. But I also think that Zion's Fall got really lucky purging the Bop. Like he had Rejuve up, he had I think Blessing of Might and Bop. So it was like a 1 out of 3 chance, right? Like,
and it costs 50 focus now, Dragon Shot.
Yeah. So if he didn't get it off, he dumps all his focus, doesn't get it off, can't get it off, and then Maz heals, gets to full health, right? Kind of a clean reset. Whereas that wasn't clean because he didn't have it.
Yeah, but as I said, I think Deterrence is a really strong CD compared to the Feral's Sheared Wall. I mean, if the Feral drops low in the Hodge and he walls after, he's still in trouble. While as the Hunter, after he gets out of the CC, he can just Deterrence and he's totally fine. He doesn't take any damage.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's completely positioning. That's how they need to determine their target. If they're going to go on the Pally, drag the Feral out of line of Zonica, do that strategy of hodging him constantly. Maybe clone him on his cooldowns, try and bait his Trinket, right? Like, don't go for the burst on him right away. Yeah. Wait for him to burst, CC it to try and bait him into trinketing. Then once you've got his Trinket, drag him away, use a cooldown to survive the incarnation, drag him away, stun him, try to go for it then. Because if you try and force it, and he gets dispelled out of the Hodge, or he triggers the Hodge and you miss it, and then he goes for the incarnation and you don't peel it in time, you might just die.
Yeah, you're in trouble then. At the same time, I think they have to be careful using the clones, since they might need low clones or something. Because they don't have that many goes. Every go has to be perfect, sort of, until they die. So might be worth to save the DR on the Feral. Like, I mean, if he pops the incarnation, it's fine to clone him. Just defensive, but then if he has no CDs, I think you should rather just save the clones for after the Hodge or something, so you can actually just clone his wall or clone the Shaman's Speaker or something.
Yeah, I definitely think that they need to. But again, if the Feral plays very passively, how do you ever catch him out? What if he just never trinkets until he's in trouble?
That's the thing. Like, if they go on Pally, I think the Feral can't go Pally. Like, if the Moonkin team hits him, that's the whole strategy I think they have to do. Like, if they go Feral, the Feral can't go Pally, and that means they have to go Moonkin. And if they go Moonkin, they can change it up again.
Damage. Yeah. I don't think they can go Moonkin. If they go Moonkin, Moonkin damage.
So much damage.
Yeah, with a BM Hunter pet hitting you, you just almost never run out of instant Starfires. You can't even get rid of the procs that you're getting so many. So I feel going Moonkin is not an option. I feel like they have to kill the Paladin. The
Probably.
Destro lock is too tanky. It's too risky to kill the Moonkin. And they were CCing the lock and the Moonkin like reasonably well. Because if they don't CC them at all, they're going to fall behind and die. So,
Yeah.
but they are back. We are back. And they have picked Tiger's Peak. I feel like they should have just gone for it, man. Gone Runes of Lordaeron. Oh, I'm getting a problem with... Okay, let me make sure that they're party leader. Why is this such a problem? I blame Zonica. This is all Zonica's fault. Hashtag blame Zonica. If there's any delay in your life today, like you go to the doctors and you get delayed, you have to wait for the doctor, blame Zonica. If your bus is running late, it didn't show up on time, blame Zonica.
Xakphonica.
Okay, I need them to, unfortunately, get in your team. Oh, Zonica, I didn't know that they didn't like you already. I'm sorry. I'm saying it's funny, man. Alright.
I guess you can't be liked if you play jungle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Zonica, why do you play jungle, man? More people would like you.
You're so disgusting.
Why don't you play with a Destro lock? Oh my god, this chat. I've created a fashion, Zonica. Alright. He's relogging, his team is relogging, so we can jump into the second game of the series. We need the Destro lock comeback, man. We need a spirit bomb of energy given to this Warlock. We need it, and we need it now. So if you want the Destro Warlock to win, please put your hands in the air. Stare at the screen and channel your energy.
Raise your dongers, guys.
A donger bomb. It's not a spirit bomb when you're on Twitch. It's called a donger bomb. That's better. Oh my god, this chat. Yeah, we are playing still. We are playing. Sonica's threatening me with tickles if he loses now after relogging. Man, tickles. That's a pretty big threat, man. I don't think you should be threatening me with tickles.
You definitely shouldn't.
I have queued them up, though. It did send a request to both of them. We are waiting for them to confirm that they're ready to take it. We should be hopping into the second game on Tiger's Peak. The only arena with snow. That's a fun fact. That's an arena fact right there, right? That's important information. Watch me be wrong. I don't know if there's snow on anything else. Is there snow? I think they're mostly deserts, aren't they? All right, we are in. And Datelock is actually going to be running Imp instead of CS.
Yeah,
I feel like it's iffy, though, because Big Peter was going for so many clones, too. They need to stop the clones, but if they go on him and stun him, maybe they can. Let's see. I think target choices, like you were saying, it's completely how the game gets determined here. If the jungle cleave goes on Maz, they need to go on Big Peter. If they don't go on Maz, need to kind of reconsider, go Zion's Fall, maybe. But again, Zion's Fall didn't even freedom the Solar Beam on Zonica, so if they can kind of take advantage of that greedy play where they don't freedom the CC, get the burst out. Like, we saw how much damage they did. They chunked him down to like 70k. So the potential's there. It's just a matter of executing it. All right.
I agree.
Let's See where Big Peter decides to go. He does have Earthshield on Big Peter, so Zonica already expects that kind of strategy. Rain of Fire immediately pulling Zion's Fault out as well, swapping the Earthshield back over to him as he is out of stealth. Zion's Fault doesn't appear to have a pet yet. I'm wondering where his pet is. He throws the Wyvern Sting out onto Dayluck. There's the Bestial Wrath. No, his pet is out. I am blind. That is a giant T-Rex named Rank 1. The barrage comes connecting. It smacks in onto Moz. No incarnation just yet, but he has the shield wall up. He's at about half HP. There's the Aura Mastery Chaos Bolt. Oh, that's going to come in hot onto Big Peter. The Chaos Bolt connects. Man, it takes holy cow through the shield wall. 100,000 HP. The Starfire connects, but he's going to survive. Zonica has the Aura Mastery, and Moz is the one who's in trouble from the incarnation of Big Peter. He has to bubble. He's going to save his Avenging Wrath, though. He's going to save his Trinket. He's going to save his Stone Form and his Aura Mastery. So when that Forbearance wears off, he's going to be able to get himself topped pretty easily. And he's lived the incarnation. Now he's using the Avenging Wrath. He's delaying his cooldowns as the Holy Paladin. So Moz is playing really well this game as opposed to the last one where he kind of, I feel like, got flustered, overlapped a bunch of cooldowns. And as long as Dayluck can get this next Dark Soul off, they might be able to get some pressure. They've already got through one Survival Instincts. The clones going out there actually got rebuked from Moz, so good awareness from Moz there, even interrupting. Now the Cenarian Ward as well. Towie trying to rebuff, but that's the full bash onto Moz. Daylock trying to go hard here with the Havoc, but no Death Coils just yet. He's trying to throw out some Incinerates, maybe build up more Embers, but Moz is in trouble. He throws the Freedom out. He's trying to run away from the damage here. He throws the Hodge onto Zonica, who has grounding down, so they need to get some follow-ups. You see, there's the coils, though, onto Big Peter, and that's the incarnation from Towie, the bash onto Peter, but Moz might just die to the rank 1 T-Rex. There's the Chaos Bolt, connect to Big Peter, 90,000, gets the Survival's Instincts up. He might die! The Spirit Link comes through! The Destro Lock almost takes it there, man. Moz is going to escape for now, but that T-Rex is on him. Like a dinosaur would be. He does get kicked on the Flash of Light. He's going to have to gateway away, use that freedom, try and kite, but Zion's Fall is right on his tail. And he does get kicked again. The Stampeding Roar and Cenarian Ward is biding his time right now as he kites across the map, but Big Peter's going to reconnect here, lands the full bash. He gets the wall up. He might need to bop here. I would imagine, surely, if he's not on Forbearance. There's the Aura Mastery. Should be able to top himself, but there is one more Dark Soul. There is a Havoc and Coils available, but Datelock needs to go fast. He needs to get it out soon, because Moz is in trouble. There's the Murder of Crows, dipping him to about 100,000 HP. Barrage comes out, but he bops the Barrage. Really nice bop from Moz there. The clone's coming out onto Towie, though. No Trinket available. There's the Havoc. Let's see where the Coils connect. Denounce even onto Zonica. Coils onto Zonica. Are they swapping over to him? Full bash landed. He doesn't have a Trinket. He's in the Solar Beam. There's the Dark Soul, but he got maimed on the Dark Soul. That might have been it, but excellent maim from Big Peter. Now the clone onto Zonica, but Moz is running out of time. He has no cooldowns left. He's about half HP. The clones are coming out. There's the Chaos Bolt, but it doesn't do anything because there's no CC, and this might be it. Moz is almost dead. There's the Cenarian Ward, Desperation Mode, 50k, 40k. Heal, Moz! Heal! Heal! 11k, there's no way.
Yeah, Big Peter, the deleter, is unstoppable, man.
Big Peter the Deleter, is that what you call him in Europe?
That's what you call him, yeah. That's Big Peter. Oh, but man, I think he could have actually died. That one time he dropped to like 3% or something, and then he got the link off. So I think, you know, in the third go, they went on the Shaman instead of the Feral.
Yeah.
But the Feral didn't have anything left. He only had Trinket. I mean, he could have Trinket the Heart and tried to LOS, but he would have still taken all the damage. So I think they could have gone through Trinket in the third go, since he didn't have any walls. Yeah. I don't agree by swapping Shaman, especially when they didn't have Cross CC on the Feral and anything, and the Feral then just stopped all their damage by maiming the Warlock. So I think if they just went Feral all the time constantly, they could have maybe killed him through Trinket. Yeah. I think it's their only chance.
I think that swap was really risky. Like, they risked it all, and he couldn't bop him out of that maim. I don't know if he could have maybe saved his Trinket. Like, if he didn't get maimed, do you think Zonica would have lived? Yeah.
I think he would have died.
Do you think that maybe he wasted his Aura Mastery in the opener, maybe? He should save it for later? I don't know, because, like...
I feel tell.
That was the biggest, like, just... Nope! Big Peter just sticks his hand up to the Destro Lock face. Nope! Full maim. You're not killing my Shaman. It's really good defensive play, though. I have to give him that. We are having one team that we're going to have to postpone again, which is Napoleon's French Forces. So we're going to try and move to the next series after that, which is RIP Russians. Come on, man. That's pretty rude. And it is Shadow Cleave. And I'm not sure who Laguna is playing with, but Laguna was the BlizzCon champion last year.
Yeah,
and I mean, that's pretty impressive.
he's playing with a Druid Quaikor, and he is
A
pretty
druid.
high rated. Yeah, he's a
Okay.
Druid. And he's pretty high rated all the time. He's like 2.9, 3k ish all the time. He's playing a lot of RLD with Laguna and some Rogue. So they have quite good synergy, Laguna and Quaikor. I think they might do better than people think. It's Shadowcleave after all, so it's not the best comp, but it's quite decent. I mean, you can make it viable. Since Druid Shadowcleave is actually more tanky than Shaman or Pally Shadowcleave, it's hard to finish.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. I feel like Shadowcleave is in a weaker position.
Yeah, it's not the best comp. I'm wondering if they can actually make it work, but I think it's hard. They don't have any peels with that comp, so it's
And they're
very
going
hard to
against a
live.
Thug Cleave. And they have a Resto Druid. I don't know if you've watched Thug Cleave on a Resto Druid. It's not friendly. It's not
It definitely
friendly.
isn't. Thug is super high damage. But then the Shadowcleave has to use everything defensive, and maybe they can pull out the peels they need, and then just win after the opener. Because Thug really needs a good opener.
You think it's all about the opener? I mean, I don't know if they're playing combat. That's where the...
I mean, well, they probably are. I mean,
Do
it's
you
not
think
all
so?
about the opener, but they kind of Thug has to kind of go through things. They can't just force that, and then kill without anything. They have to go through everything. Okay, so I think if they get proper peels, like Fierce Trinket or something, on the Rogue, they can win the game. But I'm not sure. I'm excited.
You're excited? I mean, it's really up to the Druid, too, to be, like, preemptively bear forming, spacing his skins out, like,
Yeah, man.
using his trinket properly. Like, if you kind of panic and get caught out, you're going to die. There's no way you
Yeah,
live.
if he's not in bear form when they go, he's dead. It doesn't matter what he does. Like, he's just dead.
All right. We're just waiting for them. Both teams kind of like unexpected. You know, we're skipping a series, so they're not completely prepared for it. So we can just talk a little more. Is everyone enjoying it? I mean, Zonica moved forward, and we all hate Zonica for delaying our games, right? So how do we feel about that? How do we feel about that, everybody watching it? Are we happy about Zonica moving? I don't know. I don't know, man. All right, but it is going to be Thug Cleave going up against Shadow Cleave. It's interesting that you call Shadow Cleave Cleave when it's not. It's not a
It's
cleave.
not an actual cleave, yeah.
Why is it called Shadow Cleave?
I mean, for me, a cleave is double melee. I
Yeah,
don't know about you.
or like Hunter melee.
Or double caster, if they have a lot of
Caster
bursts,
Cleave.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't. All right, one team is ready. I did get confirmation that one team is ready. The Shadow Cleave is prepared to dot, and they are prepared to try and not die. I think is the goal for Shadow Cleave. All right, we'll get them in here. And we're just waiting for the Thug Cleave to get in here. Get their butts in gear. And this is going to be potentially the final series of today. Just to let everybody know, we're extending the tournament over like this weekend and next weekend, so we're going to be back tomorrow at the same time to get through it, and then continuing the following weekend. We want to kind of have more games over a long period of time, and we want to add like the losers bracket when we move into the round of 8 and have it a little bit more interesting like that as far as like people making comebacks. So we're going to look into that as well. So the tournament will be starting again tomorrow, and this is possibly the last series for today. I know it's a short day, but we're trying to get as many games as we can over as long. Everybody doesn't like that. I see. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. Oh my god, everyone's freaking out. They all hate me now. Everyone hates Super Tees. Alright, both teams are ready though. We just need to wait for now our camera person. There's a whole bunch of waiting. There is a whole bunch of waiting.
There is. But we did get to see a Destro Warlock.
We did get to see a Destro Warlock. We did get to see a Chaos Bolt. We got to see 2 of them, I think. Was it only 2? 3 of them? 4 of them?
And we got Big Peter the Deleter. That's something, is that right?
Yeah, we did. Big Peter the Deleter. Oh my god. Why is that his nickname? What did he do? How do you earn the title the Deleter? Because it rhymes with Peter?
It's because he deletes people? Yeah.
Alright, our wonderful camera person is back. We are going to start the next series. It is going to be between the team Rip Russians. What if that's a compliment? What if that just means they're really ripped? You know, like they work out a lot. Maybe it's a compliment. I know that it's not probably intended, but you know what? Let's be positive about this. Okay, and then Laguna is going to be playing Shadowcleave, and their name for their team is Shadowcleave. How creative. Can't say that wasn't the most creative team name I've ever come across. I mean, it's pretty creative.
It is.
All right. Confirm that they're both ready. All right, we should be good to go. We're going to queue up onto the Grand Arena between Shadowcleave, the Shadowcleave, and Rip Russians, the Thugcleave. War request has failed. Why has the request failed? Okay, I think I need to relog. I actually think that we all have to relog.
We have to relog?
Yeah, all of us that are spectating, we have to exit the game completely. Not just relog, you have to exit the entire game.
Okay.
So if we can get all of us to exit the game, that would be great.
I'm doing it.
And then we'll be back, and then we will queue it. And I know people are sad, but it is going to be the last series of today. Again, the tournament is happening over 2 weekends. So tomorrow, as well as next week. Might potentially finish on the Saturday. But it's going to be a lot more intense, obviously, once we start moving into the round of 8 where there's a loser's bracket. And we can start seeing some comebacks. Alright, let's open our games again. We can jump into this, man. What do you think? 2-0? 2-1?
I'm not sure. Really can't tell.
You can't tell, you don't know? No predictions? No guesses? Give me a guess.
I mean, the Thugcleave has so much damage that it might not even matter if the Shadowcleave peels them. But then, I think if the Shadowcleave manages to survive, they win by default, more or less. They just have to live. But, I don't know. I would say it's going to be 2-1 for the Thug.
2-1?
Although I really think Laguna and the Kviker are really good players, I think the Thug just has too much damage for Shadowcleave to peel.
I'm getting the same bug. And we all relogged? Exit the game? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Let me try another quick fix. Sorry, the add-on Okay, I haven't had any problems actually until this series with it being completely cranky. It might mean that we need to get them on the other teams to relog. I'm going to attempt this one more time. Interesting, I think that one worked. Or it's not working at all. Okay, let me check and make sure that they have the correct party leaders and everything. Again, it's like the first tournament on EU where all these people might be new and don't understand all the rules. So I think they're not completely out of it. They do understand, but they might need to do a quick relog. All right, they're both leaders. Let's try this again. All right. Alright, we're just waiting for both the teams to relog. PS Hero or Ride. Everybody is here for PS Hero, man. That following. Alright, they have relogged. They've relogged. I'm rubbing my hands. Big clap. Sorry, was that loud? I apologize. I don't apologize. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try it again. It has sent the request. It has sent it. I see it. It popped.
There we go.
It popped. We're here. We're going. Games, go. We're ready. Here we go. Here we go. Shadow Cleave going up against Thug Cleave. Interesting matchup to say the least. I don't see it very often. Definitely, I feel the advantage is in the Thug Cleave's favor, but again, the Shadow Cleave are no names to just throw around playing Shadow Cleave, so...
I mean, if you look at the team names, the Shadow Cleave is called Shadow Cleave, and they're all Russian, and the Thug Cleave is called Rip Russians. I mean...
Oh.
You know what's gonna happen, right?
Oh, you think that they're the Russian murderers?
See that coming?
All right, let's see what they can do, though. I need to know if he's playing combat. He's playing combat. He has Killing Spree, so this is a pretty nasty opener if they're able to connect. It's Drain, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the Druid.
Yeah.
So if they can connect to him, that could be pretty scary. He's going to pre-hot his entire team so far and go into stealth. I like that decision. And the Death Knight managed to pull the Hunter out of stealth, but the Chief shot onto Laguna. They're going to open up to him. And the rest of the Druid is going to get pulled out of stealth. I'd imagine almost an immediate swap. And he's predicting it. He's in bear form. He's ready for it. But wow, this dot damage is pretty insane onto Cloney. 80,000 HP has to deter the Breath of Cinder Gosa there. And the Iron Bark comes out as well. The Dark Soul from Laguna doing an immense amount of damage. The Druid from the Thug Cleave is dipping to about half HP with the Death Knight on his tail right now. The Gargoyle is out. He's going to go bear form with full hots. There's the Soul Reaper. The Honda's going to fade. He's going to displace their beast across the map. He should be able to top himself now as a result. The Rogue Merton choosing to Cloak of Shadows offensively and try and connect onto Drain, but that Murder of Crows is almost wasted. They didn't accomplish a lot. He still has both of his skins. This Thug Cleave's actually in a lot of trouble. Now the Wyvern Sting, they're committing to Laguna. He has his Dark Regen available. There's the Killing Spree, answered immediately by the Dark Regeneration. But is it enough? The Kidney comes out. He Trinket ports. He might even have to Gateway, popping the Dark Soul, trying to counter pressure now as he gets topped off. Cloney in a lot of trouble. Triple Shatter Free. Does he die in it? The Soul Reaper's up. 50,000 HP. Drain Soul connects. Haunt is up. It's over. Smashed. Wrecked. Holy cow, prove me wrong and smack me silly. Wow. I like that. I like surprises, man. That is
Yeah,
fun.
I gotta say that their damage is actually really insane. They killed a hunter in the first 30 seconds of the game. They already forced Deterrence and Ironbark.
It's pretty nuts. Considering
That
they didn't even
was-
get Trinket or Ironbark or Bark Skin from Drain the rest of Druid.
That was sick.
That's pretty nice, man. That is called rot. That is dot damage. That is damage. I like damage. Do you like damage?
I like damage.
I like damage.
I think everyone likes damage.
I don't know anyone. that
Especially
doesn't
Russians like damage. Like if you queue on EU ladder, you will realize every Russian you face does more damage than any other player in the game.
My trinket was bugged. He's different. What does that even mean? On the UI? Okay, no, they're ready to go. They're ready to go. They picked Blade's Edge Arena. I don't know if I agree with that. Do you agree with that? A Warlock on Blade's Edge Arena? Resto Druid on Blade's Edge Arena? If you play Wild Charge now?
I don't think he's gonna play Wild Charge. He needs Displacer to escape, I
Okay.
think.
Let's see. Either way, they pick Blade's Edge. So we'll be jumping into possibly the last game.
I don't agree with Blade's Edge. I think they should have chosen something like Dalaran.
Yeah.
Like a close, like a small map where they can have a CC and be offensive.
I definitely think it's pretty. I don't know. Maybe they have something creative. Maybe they got something sneaky. Maybe there's more surprises. All right. Let's see what happens. Cloney QT definitely getting kind of destroyed that last game. I'd imagine he's going to be playing maybe a little bit more cautious. I don't know. I feel like they need to all in him. They just get on Drain the Druid. Get on him. Get the damage. Get the cooldowns. Use your cooldowns to respond. Get back to him and kill him. Like, that's what you have to do. I feel like if they play too smart, like try and lock Laguna down, they obviously didn't lock him down that much considering how much damage was going out.
Yeah.
So I feel they just got to go for it. Like there's some comp matchups where that's the best strategy. Just go for it, gun it, gun it, gun it, gun it, and take it, or you're gonna fall behind. And obviously they were falling behind pretty immensely the last game. Let's see what they decide to do here on Blade's Edge Arena. Again, and Cloney got pulled out of stealth as well. Their opener got botched, and you said like the opener is very important. And Drain was ready with full hots and in bear form. And again, he's just loading up his whole team with hots. Merlin coming up the other side of the ramp. He gets pulled out again, though. So the opener kind of botched. He had to cheap shot the Death Knight there, and now he's trying to swap over to Laguna. He puts him in the full kidney with the mirror image. They're trying to get a very early kill onto him. The Wyvern Sting onto Drain. He's choosing to sit it, but there's no hots. There's Murder of Crows onto Laguna. He's going to just jump down and instantly port when they connect, but he's taking so much dot damage. There's the port back up, and he actually kites the Shadow Clone as well, so he's not going to be re-stunned on it. Now this Shadow Clone reconnects. Let's see if that stun comes out, but Cloney already having to be put into the deterrence. Laguna's Dark Soul doing a lot of damage. There's the Barkskin as well from SXC Doodoo, and there's the AMS from the Death Knight trying to go offensive as much as he can. No dots just yet onto Merton, and Laguna is doing a good job so far, just jumping down, portaling up, but he needs to wait for this killing spree. But man, I feel like that killing spree was a waste. It didn't accomplish much, and there's the Ironbark to answer it. Ironbark onto Cloney as well. The barrage gets kited by the portal. Laguna's doing a good job on the Blade's Edge. Like I was saying, I feel like this map is backfiring on them, and now they're connecting onto SXC Doodoo into the full asphyxia. You're going to trigger that immediately, go into bear form, go for the Cyclone possibly here out of the Wyvern Sting. He's trying to fake cast the Dark Sim. He did manage to fake cast the Dark Sim. He lands the full Cyclone. Drain has his trinket available, but a nice double Shadow Fury Fear peel onto the Rogue. So Laguna just answering that CC with his own peels. He's doing a great job. Cloney now in the bottom, trying to kite the Death Knight as much as he can. There's the Dark Soul once again from Laguna, but he has the Murder of Clothes applied to him, but the Soul Reaper's up. Doodoo's got a lot of work here. He's just pre-hotting his whole team, trying to keep him up. There's the Genesis, but he's just not able to top him completely right now. Laguna's Dark Soul is going to be fading, so hopefully the pressure can subside for them. Now a clone onto Merton here, low HP. The Death Knight just trying to connect to whatever he can right now. He's hitting the Druid on the Thug Cleaver now. There's the full stun. Unfortunately, overlap with the Fear. He skinned it. As soon as he skins, immediately swapped off. Now the Wyvern Sting onto Drain. They really need to land the trap out of that, something out of it. The Wyvern Sting is not long enough. He's going to come out of the Wyvern Sting. There's the Kidney onto Laguna. Let's see if he can land the half trap in here. He's got the Master's Call. He's trying to push up for it. Drain is cutting down the ramp to try and avoid the trap. He's doing a good job. He got the Iron Bark up preemptively as well. So Cloney kind of baiting that Iron Bark. And now when the trap DR comes off, he can push in here, go for that trap. And if he gets it, it might finally force the Trinket. Drain trying to go for a Cyclone. Laguna managing to get the Haunt out onto Cloney with a Cyclone onto Martin with the Asphyxiate onto the Druid. And he's swapping to them with the full dots. He's going to take a lot of damage. Soul Reaper's up. He has to Iron Bark himself, use the Swiftmend, and S himself back to full. He's recovered now, but he doesn't have the Iron Bark for a swap. And Drain, realizing that, clones him now with the Iron Bark. They swap over to Cloney here, who's going to be taking quite a bit of damage in a moment. Laguna dipping to about half HP, but he just portals back up. Again, a lot of this damage was mitigated. There's the Breath of Cindergosa, disengages immediately away from that. And the Thugcleave's doing a better job sustaining, but they're all starting to rot. The Druid's mana is at 50,000 as opposed to the 100,000 of Drain. They're not accomplishing a lot. And there's the triple Shadow Fury. Merton might just go down. 30,000 HP. Evasion's up. That's not enough. Vanish. That's it. Not enough CC. Laguna and his Shadow Cleave dominated, man. That is called domination.
They did. You can really see that they're really good players. That Laguna does really good at kiting all their damage. He knows when they have damage / when it's important to avoid their damage. You know that wasted kidney screen when he was downstairs. He had portal ready, but he didn't use it since he knew he's not going to force anything with that spree. He wasted that spree pretty much, and Laguna just ported up and down again, and they couldn't really get anything because of Blade's Edge. I think it's a really bad map. And if they play on Blade's Edge, they should never go on the Warlock. Maybe on the Druid, but Warlocks and Blade's Edge are just not a viable target against Cleaves. There's no way.
I lied. It's not the final game. We're going to squeeze one more in. We're moving pretty quickly here. We have time. We're going to get another pretty well-known name, man. We're going to get Min Poike in here with Zeepai and Walrix playing that, I would imagine, Demonology LSD. And they are going to be going up against PS Heroes Bob Bits. Now that's a clash, isn't it, man? That's a pretty big names here on these two teams.
That is.
I just want to confirm the comps. It's obviously LSD and RMP.
Playing RMP, yeah.
Yeah, with Hydra. With Hydra, yeah.
And Thesia.
This can be good, man. You think it's gonna be good?
It's gonna be good, but then you have to keep in mind PS Hero only plays sub, and a sub RMP against LSD1. Like that's a setup where I don't see the RMP killing anything ever. Especially when he's playing sub. Like, how is a sub RMP going to kill an NSA1?
Man, maybe they kill the pet. Maybe they just do the pet strat. I know a lot of teams do that, like specifically against Demonology Warlocks.
I don't know, man. Sub doesn't really have any damage outside of burst, so I don't see how they kill the pet when the Druid can just heal it with one heal and it's not going to die.
We're just waiting on PS Hero's team. Plot twist, PS Hero went combat. Does he play combat? I thought he would play sub.
PS Heroes is always playing sub.
Yeah, always
I've never seen him play combat in threes.
Yeah, and PS Hero's just in a ladder game right now. Obviously wants to practice and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. I just want to check this. Make sure I'm not lying again. Yes, it should be Bob Bits, which is PS Heroes RMP, going against Welcome to EU. Pretty common team name as well for them. They stick with that name, I feel like. It's nice to see.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a subby mode of Poike.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're just waiting for them. They need about 5 minutes to get ready. this is going to be the last series. We can't play out the other series right now because one of the teams is missing in action, but we are going to be able to fill it out tomorrow. And tomorrow we start the round of 8, and that's when we're going to have like losers bracket, comebacks, lots of exciting little ladder games going on. But this is going to be a pretty good match, I think, between Minpoike's team and PS Hero's team. Obviously, you can't leave out Walrix and Zeepai, as well as Hydra and Thasia. What's your best Hydra impression?
Mine?
Can you do one?
I don't think so.
I can't.
You can?
I can't. I was trying to think of it, and then I didn't want to like insult him at all. And then I was like, no, that's bad. I'm not going to do that. That's just going to look stupid. I was hoping you had one.
If I would have to like impress them, I would just say like Druids, and that's it. Like, that's it, Druids.
You just do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's too much.
I know for a fact. Like as soon as he faces a Druid, he's mad already in the prep box.
What?
I don't know. That's how it is. It's always been like that.
Druid's in the other team. Oh my god! Alright, let's just make sure we got this all set up on the UI so everything works. PS Hero is almost ready. PS Hero is almost ready, you hear? Minpoike needs a little bit longer, but PS Hero is almost ready. He is almost prepared. Hashtag blame PS Hero for delay. Oh no, he's ready. We can't blame PS Hero anymore. Now it's up to Minpoike. Okay, PS Hero is... Alright, let him know. Now it's hashtag blame Minpoike until he's ready. Oh my god, these typed out impressions of Hydra. Alright, man. You think they're going to play Demonology?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure?
They almost always play Demo, because Demo just has the power to finish the game, while his Affliction just can't finish the game until it's deep dampening. And also, Affliction can die, / you can stop their damage. So I think he's going to be Demo for sure. He wants to finish the game.
Okay, the teams are ready. Final series hype! Let's get this going on the Grand Arena, of course. This best of 3 between 2 titans of a team. My English gets worse and worse doing this on my own like this, man. That didn't make sense. I apologize for that. That was not hyped enough. I will bring it back. I will make up for that. Here we go, man. I wonder if... I'm not sure if it's the add-on that can adapt if it's Heart of the Wild or Nature's Vigil, but Heart of the Wild might be an interesting pickup here from Minpoike. Just throwing out the Moonfires, obviously, adding to the extra damage.
Oh, he's playing Heart?
It might be the add-on, but I know in like MAP, Heart of the Wild was like, that's what you took all the time, and it was kind of...
Since they nerfed Nature's Vigil, I think Heart is a really good choice. You can get some extra pressure, although it's not that much of damage like in MOP. But you can get some damage with it. And also, it lasts 45 seconds, so you can actually pop it before they go hard. And then you have the biggest hots for like the entire phase they have damage.
Yeah.
Because it's 45 seconds.
But the game is going to start here on the Grand Arena. Be following PS Hero in through the gates, as their opener is critical here. I would imagine something... it's so hard because Minpoike can go into stealth, so he's just got his team hot. He's actually just sitting in Bear.
He's playing Enhancement Shaman.
He's playing Enhance. Let's take a moment here and realize that he is playing Enhancement Shaman Demonology. There's the sap on him Minpoike into Bear. The Garrote opener onto Zeepai. Not going to be dipping him too low just yet. The Capacitor Totem was down, but it does whiff. There's the Shamanistic Rage answering the Death from Above. The Shadow Fiend even coming out. They're doing a lot of damage to Zeepai, but that Shamanistic Rage is so good. It's just mitigating all this damage. Minpoike actually had to use his Trinket, though. Polymorph onto Walrix, dispelled by Minpoike there very quickly. Shamanistic Rage is now fading Walrix into another Polymorph. The damage output just not strong enough. There's the bash onto Namen. Does get get the power shield instantly stripped off, though, from Zeepai. Obviously, playing enhancement is going to be much more purge heavy as opposed to the elemental spec choice here. But it appears they're just playing very defensive, holding back, just attacking Nauman, trying to stop the CC. Fears onto Thasia there. He's going to be pushing in now, trying to get that deep Ring of Frost, but he's not going to be able to get it. And now Minpoike was in bear form, so he wasn't able to land the polymorph either. The kidney onto Zeepai, but with no CC onto Minpoike, he should be all right. The Ring of Frost is kind of annoying to Zeepai right now. It's locking him in. Wouldn't want to move. He can't move very far right now. Now the polymorph's trying to get out, but it does get interrupted once again. And Thasia's just getting shut down early here. The CS coming out onto Walrick's Sphere. They're trying to prevent any CC. Now going for the Soulfires, building up that demonomic. That's a good word. I'm going to keep that one. PS Hero dipping to about half HP. Walrus into the half poly, though. The Garrote onto Zeepai. The deep freeze onto Minpoike, but he's in bear form again. They have to use the Fear instead of the polymorph. There's the Shamanistic Rage, but is it enough? Evasion preemptively from Nauman, trying to avoid any bash CC that he can, as well as mitigate the damage from the Enhancement Shaman. But that evasion is over. They're going to start doing some damage to him. He's got Feint up. He should be okay. Polymorph's being spammed out right now. Zeepai dipping to only about 80% HP, and the RMP's not getting the CC they need. Thasia, like I was saying, is just getting shut down over and over and over. He gets locked on the Frostbolt now. Can't build the Icicles. Now a bash onto Hydra. He has the Fairy Fire. He's not going to be able to go into stealth. He's not going to be able to sprint and move fast right now. He does dispel it off of himself. But there's the Pet Stun onto Nauman. Walrix gets feared on it. Nice triple fear from Hydra there, just mitigating all of that potential burst. And he Ring of Frost him out of it with a full poly on him in Poike. There's no Shamanistic Rage available. They need to pump the damage, and they need to pump it now. Penance even coming up, but another Howl of Terror coming out from Walrix to peel the burst potential there from the RMP. So both teams just shutting each other down perfectly right there. And Minpoike dispelling the polymorphs off Walrix. He's trying to get that Dark Soul damage off, but now the Shadow Dance from PS Hero is doing quite a bit of damage to Zeepai. The full kidney, the polymorph is just about to fade on Minpoike. There's the fear onto Walrix, though. He's going to get dispelled by Minpoike before that blind. He's going to trinket the blind immediately on use trinket, get the hots rolling, and that Shamanistic Rage, again, really well timed, answering the Shadow Dance of PS Hero, constantly trading that cooldown, and now PS Hero into the bash is taking quite a bit of damage. The Feint was up for it. The Hex onto Seiza is going to sit. This is an RMV. He can't dispel that Hex, and that means a lot of pressure is going to start rolling off, and as dampening moves on, I just feel like the LSD, even though it's enhancement, it has the advantage they can purge the power word shields. They can prevent a lot of healing and CC with Wind Shear as well. There's the kidney onto Zeepai, though. He's going to actually trinket out of that, pop the Spirit Wolves, trying to get some extra healing from that. But there's the smoke from PS Hero. He's going to activate the Spirit Walk, sprint out of that bomb, and Poike is going to go for the Tranquility, cancel it immediately, realizing that Zeepai is out of the bomb, throw out the hots, spam Purge right now onto PS Hero, who's just nervous about pushing in. Even with Feint, he's still pretty nervous. He's not going all the way in, and has to Shadow Step over to Minpoike, a swap over to Minpoike. There's the Frozen Orb coming out. Barkskin was used. He's not in bear form. Shadow Dance is up. He's dipping pretty low, but with the enhancement off heals coming in here pretty shortly, he should be fine. Goes into bear form. Unfortunately, I think he bashed into the evasion, so the bash isn't going to land. Now he's going to take the gateway, reposition on the other side of the map. That was a decent swap. They got the Barkskin. They got the cooldowns. They need to do it again. They have to come back to him. They can't leave him alone. And now Thasia going for defensive polymorphs onto Zeepai. They realize that the Enhancement Shaman might be a little bit too tanky. And the CC they need to get on Minpoike might be a little bit too hard. But they overlap the Fear in the Deep. They're going to get the ring out of it. They're going to swap over to Walrix. But Walrix has his Dark Regeneration. He should be okay, and he just portals away. He's just going to gateway away as well. Minpoike was able to sit all that CC, even though he didn't have his trinket. And now the Pet Stun onto Hydra. Is it a potential swap? No, he's going to Demonic Leap into Howl of Terror. Nice play from Walrix there to CC Hydra. Now he's in the center of the map. Let's see what they can get out of this. Minpoike does get locked on his clone, choosing to throw the Moonfires out, get as much damage as he can from the result of the lockout there. And now the polymorph's just being spammed on the Walrix, just mitigating all the damage. We're going to have a little bit of a lull in damage until Shadow Dance is available, until PS Hero makes the move. And there it is. Step Kidney onto Minpoike. Let's see if the Shadow Dance comes out. He's trying to bait the Barkskin, but Minpoike is not falling for it. 150,000 HP. He might have to do it anyway now. The Vanish comes out. Death from above. He has to trinket NS, but he saved his Barkskin. He Displacer Beast out. He's got full hots. He's going to recover, and it's really important that he saved that for the next stun. And he saved it. He just used his trinket Displacer, mitigating as much damage as he can, not overlapping zapping cooldowns. It's really well played. Obviously, you would expect from someone like Mimpoike, and Astasia's just throwing out the defensive polymorphs, waiting for their time. There's another kidney onto Mimpoike. He's actually cloaking offensively. The Ice Novas come in. Mimpoike answering that Shadow Dance immediately with Barkskin Bear form, trading off the cooldowns excellently, and we're moving into dampening now. So this LSD is going to start getting the pressure, possibly start ooming Hydra. Both healers doing reasonably well, I would think, going into this game. Obviously playing Enhance, the pressure is going to be a little bit lower as far as AoE pressure. And he can't really connect to anyone aside from PS Hero, who takes the least amount of damage on the team almost. So they're not accomplishing too much yet, but as long as PS Hero and Thasia can set up the swaps, kind of bait the Barkskin or kill him through it, they might be able to do it. But there's the pet stun on Hydra, probably actually swapping to him. The Chaos Waves come in, Blade Storm coming out from Arax Garoth. They're crushing him down to half HP now. He's got the Power Word shield up. He's just in the center of the pillars. Prayer coming out there. He's going to be able to heal himself up, I would imagine, here, and a Fear landed onto Zeepai. Not getting dispelled just yet. Mimpoike choosing to use that. Oh, he dispelled the Fear late, and now Walrus is stuck in a poly. A bit of a misuse of the dispel there. Mimpoike trying to stay in bear form, though, worried about this Shadow Dance swap. He has Barkskin available now, so he's played defensive long enough to come back to that. He should be all right, but there's the Shadow Dance onto Zeepai with the Garrote. He's not going to be able to Shamanistic Rage until just now if he chooses to do it. He's even saving it. This Shadow Dance isn't even forcing his Shamanistic Rage, and moving this far into dampening, they need to force the cooldowns against LSD. Even if he's enhancement, they need to force it. Walrus pressure is starting to sink in here onto PS Hero a little bit, but there's not any CC into Hydra. He's just running around with Thasia, now a clone onto PS Hero. He's running in for the Fear. He gets the silence. He gets the Fear. It gets tremored instantly from Zeepai, though. No cross CC to prevent that. And now Hydra's offensive push is kind of relapsing on him. He has to play defensive because they're trying to swap to him, I think, with the next pet stun. There's the pet stun. Do the Chaos Waves come in, though? No, they're going on to PS Hero. There's the Pain Sub, but they're swapping from the Pain Sub. Half bashes it over. 50,000 HP. Shadow Melt into the Howl of Terror, trying to heal himself back up. The Penance comes out. He misses the Wincher, I think, there on the Penance. He should be able to heal himself up. He's into the Spectral guys. The Flash Heals come out, but PS Hero now being swapped to the pet Arax Garath, going ham on him right now, and it's mostly physical damage now almost from this LSD as opposed to caster damage, so the Shadow or Cloak of Shadows isn't going to prove to do too much. Curse of Doom is on the entire team now, and even though it's enhancement demo, they're rotting them almost. Now the pet's down onto PS Hero. Zeepai trying to connect to his target, which is PS Hero. The Chaos Waves come crashing in. Walrix gets polyed on it, gets repolyed on his Dispel, and now Hydra is in still a good position as far as mana, only 18% dampening. There's the kidney onto Zeepai. No Shadow Dance just yet, trying to bait that Shamanistic Rage, but Mimpoike's team isn't silly. They're not going to fall for that. They're never going to fall for that bait. They need to find some way around it, but it seems like the defensive ability of their team is just too strong, and now Hydra's starting to rot to the pressure of the Demonology Lock. He's able to heal himself up for now. Thasia going for some defensive polymorphs onto Walrix. They get dispelled as well, but instantly into the repoly as well. Now the pet stun onto Hydra. This might be it if Zeepai can connect, but he's just not able to get there. He goes for the Hex. He lands the Hex on Thasia. Hydra throwing the silence out onto Walrix, trying to prevent whatever damage he can from the Dark Soul. PS Hero with the Shadow Dance, but not accomplishing too much damage. There's the kidney onto Zeepai, who's sitting on his Sham Rage. Okay, that is an agreeable Sham Rage. Answering the Shadow Dance, trading the cooldown as Mimpoike was CC'd, not being too greedy here. The polymorph half onto Walrix. He's going to be stuck in that. No Dispel just available just yet. The Bash tried to come out, but I think it was parried. The polymorph gets locked. The Fear onto Thasia, trying to lock down these polymorphs. Walrix really wants to build up his Demonic Fury, get that swap set up for Hydra. Now, there it is. The Chaos Waves come in on the pet stun. 100,000 HP. Walrix has to get deeped and into the half kidney just to save Hydra with the polymorphs onto Zeepai. So they save him for now, but dampening is 25%, and they have no pressure. They haven't really accomplished anything aside from trading some cooldowns, getting some trinkets, but Mimpoike's team, they all have their trinkets. There is no way, unless they throw this game, there is no way they should fall behind and lose this. Now, PS Hero with the evasion up, mitigating a lot of the damage for Hydra to try and recover, but the Howl of Terror has landed. It breaks immediately, and now the Hex onto Thasia. I think it's over, man. Chaos Waves come in. Hydra Shadow Melts to try and avoid some 60,000 HP, barely saving himself right now, trying to run for his life. There's the kidney shot. They're trying to go for it onto Zeepai. No Sham Rage. Deep Freeze onto Mimpoike. Is this the comeback of the century? There's the Sham Rage coming in time, and now they're trying to connect, but the blind onto Minpoike. He's going to trigger that immediately. They can feel blood in the water. Thasia is dipping low. PS Hero is dipping low. There's the heals coming out from Hydra, though. There's the barrier as well. He should be okay for now until that barrier falls. But Minpoike's team is just sitting so comfortably for so long. Hydra into the pet stun. They're swapping over. There's the Chaos Waves. There's Zeepai. He connects. Halter on the DPS. He has to block. The Fear lands. How is he alive? The Lord Hydra himself, penancing himself, trying to recover with 32% dampening. But a full poly onto Minpoike. Silence onto Walrix. Let's see if they can get the CC crossed at all. Zeepai is just not taking any damage, even though Minpoike is CC'd right now. And they have to play defensively. Thasia blinks backwards, trying to build up the icicles for later. And Hydra's tapped on mana, 36% dampening. They're trying to go for it. Deep freeze onto Minpoike. Kidney onto Zeepai. Smoke bomb comes out. The Ice Novas come crashing in. There's death from above. Ironbark is up. 90,000 HP. Healing surges come in. Can they pull it off? Hydra at the same time so low. 70,000 HP. Zeepai gates away. He's going to try and heal himself behind the pillar here. But Thasia is in hot pursuit. 70,000 HP on both sides right now. Shamanistic Rage is up though. Minpoike with the Heart of the Wild, though. He's even going to try and go for the execute. There's the NS. Full health. They've almost got the nail in the coffin. Hydra with pain suppression at 40,000 HP. Saving Grace, desperately trying to save his skin at this point. 70,000 HP. There's the poly, though, on the Minpoike. Zeepai may potentially be in trouble. He's running out of hots, but it might be over for Hydra. He's barely surviving through this damage at this point. Now the Fear has landed. Another poly on the Minpoike, but there's no CC. There's the silence, though. Garrod onto Zeepai. Let's see if they can get anything done. There's no NS. Heart of the Wild has fade, but a bash on a PS Hero with no feint. They might swap over to him and maybe potentially secure the kill. No, it's going to get the feint out. I have no idea how Hydra is dealing with this with no mana. Capacitor Totem lands on the PS Hero. Hydra behind the pillar here, just preemptively getting himself ready for the swap. There's the Deep Freeze onto Zeepai, though, for damage. Kidney onto Minpoike for CC. Walrix Dark Soul, though. Demon Bolt connects onto Hydra. No mana left. Ironbark onto Zeepai. Hydra, 30,000 HP in the center of the map. Trinkets the stun. Spectral Guise is away. Can he live, though? The blind has to be used on Walrix. Thankfully for them, that's going to sit, but they're all at 70,000 HP. How do you recover from this? 60,000, 50,000. Evasion comes out. Hydra just trying to keep his team offensive. It's desperation mode. 43% dampening. I don't even know how they're alive at this point. Minpoike has full hots onto Zeepai. Zeepai has Shamanistic Rage available. They can't throw this game. It's impossible. Polymorph's coming out, but Hydra Zoom, he throws the silence onto Walrix. He's trying to get away. He's trying to do whatever he can for his team. 80,000 HP, 90,000 HP across the board. The Spirit Wolves fade. But with Shamanistic Rage available, how do they overcome it? 46% dampening. They can't even heal. They may as well be AFK back here. Hydra trying to get the Fear. He pushes in. He lands the Fear on Minpoike, but the Zeepai instantly uses his Sham Rage. Pet stun on the PS Hero. He trinkets it immediately. Deep freeze on the Minpoike, but he's in bear form. He has to land the Ring of Frost. Does the ring land? No, it gets wind sheared by Zeepai. So that ring getting locked. There come the Chaos Waves onto PS Hero. He's going to cloak. There's the Ice Block. How are you alive, Hydra? How are you alive? 60,000 HP, man, for the entire game. The pet is blade storming on him at this point. Full bash on the PS Hero. He does manage to get the feint up, but the collateral damage on the Hydra right now might just kick them over, man. How are they hanging in? 30,000 HP poly on the Zeepai. Thasia just spamming polys as much as he can, trying to buy his team that comeback potential. Deep freeze on the Minpoike. They need this poly. They land the poly. There's no Sham Rage available. Minpoike has his trinket. And I think that he should, with no Sham Rage, he's going to trinket Ironbark, get the Swift Men to NS off top. His Showman off reasonably well here. Thasia dipping really low, 78,000 HP, going for the defensive polymorphs onto Walrix. He's going to land it. It's not getting dispelled by Minpoike. They just can't land the kill, though. Finally, a clone. Thasia! Thasia! How are you? No, it's over, man. It's over. After so long.
Man.
So many attempts. It's over.
This was actually a perfect example for how a sub can't kill anything against any rested druid. If he was combat, they would have actually killed like 15 times. They would have died all the time. A sub, he just seems to not be able to force enough in one go, so they don't have anything for the next one. Like, he can only always get one thing. He can either get trinket, he can get skin, he can get rage, but then he has nothing for the next go. He doesn't have dance, and he only has damage with dance. So I really think they lack that additional CD they need for the kill. They don't have enough stuff to kill them. And yeah, on dampening, I mean, it's crazy. It's amazing how they lived. They did a really awesome job. But then they just lost that mana. There was no
Yeah.
They did perfect almost.
did, yeah.
But then they just lost that mana. It was a good game.
Yeah. They tried to bait the bark skin. Like, you could see the mind games going on. Minpoike didn't fall for it.
Yeah.
Zeepai never fell for it. They always answered it. So
it's pretty obvious. I mean, the druid is never gonna skin ever because he knows that Sabrok has 0 damage outside of CDs. So all he has to do is save skin for dance. If they have damage outside of dance, which is really rare, like for the mage CDs or something, then he has to trinket an S or Ironbark, like, yeah. But then if he has skin for every dance, they can't kill. There's no way, and they can't really kill Enhance either because it's the same shit. He has Shamanistic for every dance. And if they just Shamanistic / skin for dance, they can't finish. They just can't.
yeah, you could definitely see it. Like, they got the swaps off. They got the CC. Even completely at 50,000 HP, they're still trying their hardest. And they just couldn't break through that barrier. I don't know, man. That one deep freeze ring near the absolute end of the game. I mean, you could pick any moment of that game and been like, what if that happened? But if that deep freeze ring didn't get sheared, Zeepai didn't have Sham Rage, which probably would have forced Minpoike's Trinket. And then when Minpoike trinketed later in the game there towards the end, they might have been able to kill him through Sham Rage with dampening that high.
There was a single point in the entire game where they could have actually maybe killed if he crit.
Oh my God.
I swear, like the druid, he trinketed the one time. He trinketed an est, okay, and then he skinned the next time when they went without dance. When they went with dance, okay, and then there was one frame, like they had dance again, and he had no trinket, no skin, and then they could have killed, but like they didn't. They weren't able to go because Shaman Lock are just disgustingly playing wise. They can just spam grounding, shock, fear, and just like avoid their goals. They don't have to win. They can just use everything defensively, and they win by default, as we just saw.
All right, so we do have a map choice from the RMP. They're going to go with Runes of Lordaeron. They do not want to play that long game. And I completely agree with them. They picked the long game map. Like, they lived so long, man. They lived so long.
It was awesome.
He had Feint preemptively up for the swap. He didn't get caught out. He was trying to evasion bashes. But this is potential. Sorry?
We even got the tick from the bandage.
Yeah. Did he bandage and I missed it?
Yeah.
He bandaged himself? Oh my God. Like, they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink to get this. So they want to win, man. And I think if they have that passion and that capability, they can do it. They can do it. If there's an RMP, I think right now they can take Minpoike out, at least with that level of passion.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sub RMP after all. Like, there's no sub RMP that could win these guys because it's just not. Like, it's way too hard. It's too obvious what they have to do.
Yeah.
And anyway, like Poike, Zeepai, WoD are doing a good job at realizing what they have to do. But it's Shaman Lock, man. It's just not a...
Even though it's demonology and enhancement.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's the strangest combination.
Still, yeah, it doesn't matter. Purgers are so good against priests.
Yeah, they are.
Same with Warlocks.
Let's see if they can make a comeback here on Runes of Lordaeron. PS Hero not mass stealthing his team just yet. Going to get the mass stealth off. They obviously don't want to get pulled out of stealth by any reason whatsoever, but Minpoike's team is just going to camp the room. They have the magma totem. They're sending out the pet.
The rogue is combat, guys.
Is he combat now? He is combat now. Oh, Icy Vein tap on him Minpoike, opening on the Zeepai with the cheap shot. He's not going to Shamrage just yet because he is playing combat. There's the Ring of Frostland. There's the Shamrage very early to try and let Minpoike sit the CC. They overlap the Deep Freeze and the Poly. They can't afford to do that. Minpoike trinkets all of that, though, regardless. And the Adrenaline Rush was reasonably mitigated. Now we're going to be looking forward to seeing PS Hero building up his red buff, getting towards that, see if they get a good smoke bomb. Swap to Minpoike has no trinket. That's an opening. If there was an opening for Hydra's team to make a comeback here, that trinket is it. So I would imagine a swap here when they build up the buff. Thasia just on top of the tomb right now where Walrix is, trying to avoid as many fears as he can. He's rooting Walrix on the side, trying to maybe go for some polymorphs here soon enough. But I would imagine a swap. But Minpoike bear forms before the deep freeze once again. He's not going to be able to land the polymorph because of that. And now Zeepai should be okay as a result, but Thasia's just spamming poly. It's keeping Minpoike in cat form, in bear form. They do manage to lock the poly, but there's the smoke bomb. There's the killing spree, I believe. No, just the eviscerate damage. That wasn't even... No, it was the killing spree, and they did just NS heals him to full. Okay, so the killing spree is gone. That opportunity is botched. So this RMP needs to kind of pull back, kind of recover the situation. Spam some defensive polymers. There they are. They landed onto Walrix. Hydra's also starting to take a big dip in mana here. He does land the Fear onto Walrix. There's the defense on Mimpoike. Zipai answers it immediately with Shamanistic Rage. Comet Storm coming down, doing a bit of damage, but that Shamanistic Rage is paying its toll right now. Ring of Frost trying to get it out, but Mimpoike is going to be able to slide out of that. Thasia trying to go for some more defensive polymorphs. He does get it on the Dark Soul of Walrix, so it's going to prevent a lot of his Chaos Wave damage here. And that was Pain Suppression to try and answer that Dark Soul as well from Hydra. Thasia with the Amplify Magic now, trying to help his team recover, possibly get a Prayer of Mending rolling here too. PS Hero just seems to be the target for Zipai. They're just going to wait. They have to just wait for dampening. It's the best strat. And again, Mimpoike bear forms the deep. He's completely aware of it. He bear forms every time Thasia blinks. It's not that easy of a thing to do. And now he bashes Thasia over here. He's going to be stuck with the pet doing quite a lot of damage to Hydra. And Walrix is kind of just hunting him down. He does land the full Howl of Terry. There's the Dark Soul Demon Bolt with the pet stun. No trinket. Does he solo him? Chaos Wave! Oh my god, the Spectral guy, 16,000 EP. It's over! Walrix with an immense Dark Soul right there, completely unpeeled from PS Hero and Thasia. They take that game so early.
Yeah. I think, I'll be honest with you, I think this arena, it's like he can't LOS anywhere. He got feared in the open, and then you get stunned with an axe toss and just died. And it's really so hard for the RMP to stop their damage at some point, because like they have to save their stuns and their DRs for being offensive. And then after being offensive, they're all DR'd, so they can't even peel that much, you know? And then it's really hard to stop their damage. And in this go, he just critted a lot, and I guess he died.
He just critted a lot. I mean, positionally, he wasn't in LOS for his team to help. And he just Dark Soul Demon Bolt.
I mean, they have to be offensive. They can't play the long game. So it's obvious that Poike's team now realize that the RMP can't be defensive. So obviously they just go on the healer, which has to be offensive. Like he helped so much with Dispels, as you could see in his mana as well. Like he had 40% mana or something instantly because he spammed Dispel. They actually wanted to kill him, and then it just backfired a bit. But
yeah.
I guess that's how they have to play, though.
They do. And I mean, there was that one opportunity that I thought they would take advantage of when Poike trinketed with a swap, but the Killing Spree bomb kind of got mitigated, ran out of it, and NS'd him to full. Like, NS is just going to counter any burst you have. If he gets Soul to Forest off with it, it's full health. It doesn't... You have to kill in that bomb, or you have to kill somebody without a trinket, not allow them to get the cooldown. And I mean, they're obviously they're better players than me in general, I would think. And I think they played that.
Wow.
They played that really, really well, even regardless. Like, it's a hard matchup. It's just
maybe
a hard
it would have
matchup.
went better. Like if they went Druid, they could have CC'd the DPS. Same stuff against the DK Windwalker, if you remember. Like if they went on the Druid, they could have just CC'd the Enhance and the Warlock. And I mean, the Enhance doesn't have too much damage, so they maybe could have lived if they did that. But I think it was decent to go on the Enhance anyway.
Yeah.
It was just kind of too much damage.
Yeah. That was the last series of today, though, guys. We did get through almost the entire round of 16. The last series, one of the teams isn't available to play today, unfortunately, so we can't play it right now. We're going to delay it until tomorrow. The tournament is going to be happening this weekend and the following weekend if we can't get through it all in time. But that's a great series to end on. I'm happy that we squeaked it in. That was fun. I think that was fun. I think it's... You have to point out it's interesting that he went Enhancement. I think that's better against RMP. Because the off heals are instant, right? You won't get locked out accidentally and then not be able to Sham Rage or something.
I don't think it matters, to be honest. Like, if he was Ellie, it would have been the exact same.
You think?
Yeah. And would have made no difference. Also, Ellie is even more tankier than Enhance, I think. I mean, he can off heal, but not when he's stunned and when they go. And when they go, they always stun in Geralt.
Yeah.
So, I think it would have made a difference.
Yep.
It's just LSD overall.
Again, I think that was a great first day. Thank you, Botar, for stopping by to give your insight and save my voice from death.
You did a really good job, dude. You did full
It's
action all the
so
time.
fun, man. It's
and
so
you're
fun.
alone in the games. It was awesome.
It's fun. That's why I do it. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't kill my voice to do it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Everybody in the stream, if you want to follow the stream to help and support ProGameX, which is sponsored by Bleached Bones, we're continuing this tournament tomorrow at the same time, and we're probably continuing it the following weekend as well. I hope that was a lot of fun for you guys. You guys can see what teams kind of push on through as we move on to the round of 8 tomorrow. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you, ProGameX and all the admins, for hosting the tournament as well. It's a lot of work to do, so thanks for everyone that is supportive. Some pretty epic games. I can imagine Hydro might be a little bit salty. I would kind of agree with him a bit, but they definitely played their hearts out. That was really exciting. I'm happy that I got to commentate that game. Yeah, just thank you guys. That's going to be it for today. Any shout-outs, Bowtar?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I hate everyone.
Whoa, that's mean. Okay, we'll see you guys later.